So last night, MrBeast hosted a $300,000 influencer trivia tournament, and there was a ton of different influencers involved in this tournament. There were streamers and YouTubers and even TikTokers in this trivia tournament here. And thanks to a family of TikTokers, this trivia tournament ended up being a complete disaster. They pretty much made the tournament completely unfair for everyone else involved. And I mean, MrBeast allowed it, but they basically cheated. It's kind of ridiculous what happened. This ended up trending on Twitter last night. A ton of people were just outraged over this. There was definitely some overreaction because, I mean, it's a trivia tournament at the end of the day. But to break down what happened here, as you can see on the screen, competing in this tournament, there was two TikTokers, Charli and Dixie D'Amelio. Now, this was mainly like a 1 versus 1 trivia tournament, but I believe there was 2 other teams of 2 in this tournament, so it wasn't an entirely unfair advantage there. It probably should have just remained teams of 1, but you know, they weren't the only duo involved here. So not only the fact that, you know, probably 90% of the people that were competing here were in teams of 1 and they're going against a duo. As you can see on the screen here, competing for the Demilio family was not just Charli and Dixie D'Amelio, it was the whole family. It was Charli D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, and their mom and dad all competing. This was 4 versus 1. I'm not sure why they thought this was okay. You know, they sat down and saw it was gonna be them versus 1 person for the majority of these matches, and they were just cool with it. MrBeast was cool with it. Everyone thought this was fine for some reason. And if you can believe it, shockingly, the Demilio family ended up making it to the final round of this tournament. It's almost as if they had quadruple the members of the other teams. I'm sure that didn't play any kind of role here. That wasn't a factor. Now, once they made it to the final round, MrBeast, you know, they saw that the chat had been talking about this the whole time, kind of calling out the Demilios here. I feel like especially, I'm kind of surprised their parents didn't kind of take a step back and realize that they were pretty much cheating for $300,000. That's pretty wild in my opinion. But once they made it to the final round here, MrBeast did try to even things out here by making the Demilios pick 1 member, so I'll go ahead and play that clip.
So, the stage is set, MrBeast. I think for this next one, before you bring them up, Eric, I think we should, to keep it fair for the championship, have the Demilios pick 1. What are your thoughts?
Oh, 1 member.
1 member, 1v1.
Whoa,
keep it fair.
That's a curveball. I mean, it's your show.
I think so. Demilios, you can probably hear us already. Go ahead. I would pick 1 person since it's for 300 grand. And we'll do a 1v1.
So, shockingly, MrBeast made them compete by normal rules for the final round. I'm sure that was a curveball. They really didn't see that one coming. But I don't think MrBeast realized the damage had kind of already been dealt here. They made it to the final round by cheating, basically. So, I mean, even if only 1 Demilio is competing in the final round, they still were using a team before the entire game to get to the final round. You know, it had already played a huge factor in the game. The 1 member that's competing here is only a couple questions away from winning the whole thing. So it really didn't make that much of a difference there at the end. And as you might have expected from how this whole situation is blown up, the Demilio family ended up winning this entire tournament. They won the whole thing, and obviously this caused a crazy amount of outrage on Twitter and in the comments on YouTube. As you can see here, Dixie was trending on Twitter, and MrBeast even ended up having to put out an apology tweet over the whole situation. And this tweet says, I see some people mad that I let multiple people compete on a single team in the trivia tournament. Honestly, the tournament was just for fun and to bring the community together, and I'd appreciate if you were to get mad at anyone, get mad at me. It was my decision, LOL. The criticism is noted, and I'll definitely keep all the teams the same size next time. 100% my bad. Heart emoji. And people were still pretty upset about this even after that tweet. I thought that situation was gonna be just dead right there, but there was replies like, don't care, it was rigged, with almost 2,000 likes. Another reply here says, you can't say the tournament is for fun when there's $300,000 on the line. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier, but the Demilio family actually said they're giving the money away to their subscribers on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure anybody else who won the tournament would have done the same thing. They would have just gave it away or given it to charity or whatever. They weren't just gonna pocket the money, so it really wasn't technically $300,000 $1,000 on the line, none of the influencers who won the tournament were gonna keep the money in the first place. So anyway, with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation down in the comments. Do you think this was unfair and it was a scam and it was rigged or whatever? Personally, I mean, obviously it was unfair to have 4 versus 1 or 4 versus 2 in some of these situations. That definitely should have been handled. MrBeast should have let them know that they couldn't compete like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a trivia tournament. It's nothing crazy. People are definitely overreacting on this one. But like I said, let me know what you think about this situation down in the comments. And with that being said, that's where I'm going to wrap up this video. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at RelexYT. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out.